5 subtle signs an elderly people may be in final year. Important warnings you shouldn't overlook. Has someone you care about begun to exhibit subtle yet concerning changes in the past year? Although many individuals believe that death occurs suddenly in old age, the reality is that the body frequently issues subtle warnings months, and occasionally even a year, prior to the final stage of life. The issue is that these indicators are often overlooked by the majority of individuals due to their initial appearance. Families are only able to recognize the clues when they reflect on the situation in retrospect. However, it is too late to make any preparations by that time. It is too late to ensure that those final memories are meaningful. The purpose of this video is to discuss 5 critical indicators that frequently manifest 1 year prior to the passing of an elderly individual. Some of them may be observations that you have previously dismissed as mere signs of aging. Other modifications may appear inconsequential, however, they indicate the body's gradual decline. By identifying these indicators at an early stage, you can deliver more effective care. Keep in mind the significance of the moments. And, most importantly, guarantee that your loved one's final stage of life is characterized by comfort, dignity, and tranquility. Please remain with us until as these 5 indicators can assist you in preparing for the emotional and practical aspects of the future. You will not be taken aback when you comprehend the situation. You will be able to maximize the time you have left with the people you adore. Now, let us commence. 1. Unintentional weight loss is one of the most ominous and early indicators that an individual may be approaching the end of their life. Initially, it may appear insignificant, such as a belt that requires immediate adjustment, clothing that appears to be looser, or a once fervent appetite that begins to diminish. Numerous families disregard it as an inevitable aspect of aging. However, the reality is that weight loss without effort is rarely a positive indicator. It frequently indicates that the body is no longer able to assimilate nutrients effectively. The mass of muscle is diminishing, and critical systems are experiencing a deceleration. Muscle loss is a natural consequence of aging, however, it is indicative of underlying issues when it occurs prematurely. The body may be experiencing difficulty digesting food or may be unable to metabolize protein effectively, resulting in muscle weakness. This decline in strength does not merely augment the difficulty of movement. It elevates the likelihood of falls, impairs the immune system, and increases the likelihood of infection. A change in appetite is another factor contributing to weight loss in the final year of life. A significant number of elderly individuals no longer experience hunger in the same way they did in youth. They may begin to forego meals or consume significantly smaller portions as their sense of flavor diminishes and food ceases to be enjoyable. This is a natural transformation, not merely a matter of preference. The body no longer signals the brain to pursue sustenance as frequently, as it senses that it is slowing down. The outcome? A gradual deterioration in overall health, as well as a reduction in vitality and strength. Additionally, the presence of underlying medical conditions is a factor. Weight loss is a prevalent symptom of chronic diseases, such as cancer, heart failure, or renal disease, which may manifest prior to the onset of more apparent symptoms. Even conditions such as depression or memory loss can result in a decrease in food intake, which can lead to a downward spiral in which the body is unable to obtain sufficient fuel to maintain itself. Some families attempt to resolve the issue by encouraging their loved one to consume more food, including protein drinks in meals or offering favored dishes. However, if the weight continues to decrease despite these endeavors, it is crucial to recognize that the problem is not solely related to diet, rather, the body is preparing for a more significant transition. At this juncture, it may not be beneficial to impose substantial meals. Rather, prioritizing comfort, hydration, and easy-to-eat goods can have a more significant impact on the preservation of quality of life. If you observe a substantial decrease in the weight of an elderly relative, particularly if they are experiencing weakness, consuming less, or having difficulty maintaining their level of activity, it is imperative that you take action. This pertains to the body's communication of a message, rather than merely its physical appearance. Comprehending that message at this time can assist you in preparing for the future by fostering clarity, compassion, and the capacity to make the most of each remaining moment. Number 2 includes extreme fatigue and frailty. Deep, enduring fatigue that persists despite rest is one of the most significant changes that occurs in the year preceding the end of life. This is not merely a slight sense of fatigue following a lengthy day. It is a state of utter exhaustion that renders even the most basic duties seem insurmountable. The act of rising from bed becomes challenging, traversing the room necessitates exertion, and even mundane tasks such as cooking, dressing, or conversing become exhausting. This is not merely the natural process of aging. It indicates that the body is conserving its remaining vitality. The body begins to prioritize what is most essential as organs begin to shut down. The heart's ability to circulate blood is diminished, circulation is impaired, and muscles are not supplied with the same amount of oxygen as they once were. This is the reason why a significant number of elderly individuals in their final months experience feelings of weakness, instability, and inability to maintain their usual routines. An additional critical factor is a decrease in metabolism. The body is designed to generate and utilize energy, however, as it prepares for its final phase, this energy is redirected. The body transitions from promoting movement to preserving it. This is the reason why an individual in decline may begin to require lengthier naps during the day, experience difficulty staying conscious for extended periods, and sleep more. Some individuals may even experience abrupt energy fluctuations. One moment, it is fine, the next, it is entirely depleted. However, the emotional toll may be the most challenging aspect of this process. Many seniors who once took pride in their independence are now frustrated or even humiliated that they are unable to perform the tasks they used to. They may refrain from participating in conversations, refraining from attending social events, or discontinuing their pastimes, not due to a lack of interest, but rather due to a lack of vitality. However, this can result in a cycle of isolation in which they cease to attempt, which only serves to accelerate the decline. It can be a devastating experience for families to witness a loved one transition from an active and engaged individual to one who is fatigued and withdraws. It is simple to presume that they are simply being indolent or that they must persevere. However, the reality is that compulsion toward physical activity will not be beneficial. The most important thing is to comprehend their limitations, allow them to recover when necessary, and ensure that their remaining days are as comfortable as feasible. If you observe a loved one exhibiting persistent, profound fatigue that persists despite rest, interpret it as an indication that their body is undergoing a significant transformation. This is the moment to cherish conversations, cultivate moments of tranquility, and provide support without anticipating too much. Ultimately, the most important factor is that they feel cherished, understood, and at ease, rather than the extent of their abilities. I would appreciate it if you could leave a comment below to inform me that you are still viewing the video and finding these insights to be beneficial. Additionally, I recommend that you subscribe and activate the notification feature to ensure that you do not miss any videos. Your assistance enables us to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and motivate you. Now, let us proceed. 3. A person reaches the final stage of life, which is characterized by an increase in confusion or withdrawal. The manner in which they think, speak, and interact with others is one of the most apparent changes. You may observe that an individual who was previously alert and engaged is now more prone to forgetting, has difficulty following conversations, or appears to be disoriented in familiar environments. Even if they have never experienced memory issues, they may repeat themselves, forget names, or lose track of time. These subtle mental shifts may manifest months or even a year prior to mortality. This is not merely ordinary forgetfulness. The brain, like any other organ, requires a consistent supply of oxygen and nutrients to function effectively. However, brain function begins to deteriorate as blood flow decreases and oxygen levels decrease. The individual may experience difficulty recognizing individuals in locations they have known for years, struggle to make decisions, or become readily confused. In certain instances, they may experience brief periods of lucidity that are immediately followed by abrupt episodes of confusion, as if their mind is intermittently fading in and out. Emotional withdrawal is another prevalent indicator. Individuals who are approaching the conclusion of their lives frequently develop a diminished interest in social activities. You may observe that they are less talkative, less engaged, or spend extended periods of time in silence. Not that they are indifferent to their family members. It is due to the fact that their brain no longer processes emotions and interactions in the same manner. Many seniors ultimately withdraw into their own worlds as conversations become exhausting and loud environments become overpowering. Alterations in temperament and disposition may also be observed. Certain individuals experience an increase in their levels of anxiety, irritability, or frustration. Others appear to be unusually detached, tranquil, or indifferent in topics that they previously found engaging. This is not merely an alteration in personality. The brain frequently adjusts as the body deteriorates. The individual may cease to react in the manner they once did as mental function diminishes, and emotions become more difficult to articulate. This phase can be particularly distressing for family members. Observing a loved one emotionally withdraw or lose contact with reality can be akin to losing them before they are truly gone. However, it is crucial to bear in mind that this is beyond their capacity to influence. Rather than endeavoring to restart conversations, the most effective course of action is to engage them in the current state. Speak softly, provide solace, and recognize that your presence is felt even if they do not respond. Do not disregard the fact that a loved one is becoming more inattentive, disoriented, or disengaged. These are frequently the initial indications that the body and mind are preparing for the ultimate transition. This is the time to be patient, appreciate calm moments, and concentrate on creating a sense of security, familiarity, and tranquility in their environment. Despite the fading of language, love and solace can still be experienced. We should proceed. We should proceed. Number 4. Slow healing and frequent infections. A weakened immune system is one of the most obvious physical indicators as the body begins to shut down. You may have observed that an individual who was previously resilient to illness is now susceptible to every cold, flu, or minor infection that circulates. The recovery time for what were once trivial maladies has significantly increased, and even minor injuries, such as cuts or bruises, are healing at a slower pace than they used to. These modifications are not arbitrary. They are indicators that the body is no longer capable of self-protection or self-repair in the same manner as it once did. Recurring infections are one of the most significant concerns. As the immune system deteriorates, pneumonia, urinary tract infections, UTIs, skin infections, and even oral infections become more prevalent. Many families believe that these are merely isolated illnesses. However, when they occur frequently or require a prolonged recovery period, it is typically indicative of a body's diminishing capacity to resist. Even antibiotics, which were previously highly effective, may appear to be less effective. For infections that were previously minor, the individual may require extended recovery periods, harsher medications, or multiple rounds of treatment. This is due to the fact that the body's response to treatment is diminished as a result of the sluggish blood flow and the deterioration of organs. Chronic wounds are an additional concern that is frequently disregarded. If you observe that minor wounds, sores, or bruises are not resolving properly or are periodically reopening, it may indicate that blood circulation is impaired. Oxygen and nutrients are not being delivered to the epidermis and tissues in a timely manner due to poor circulation, resulting in a significantly delayed healing process than is typical. Bed sores, particularly for individuals who are less mobile, pose a significant risk and can result in hazardous infections if not properly managed. What is even more alarming is that infections in the final year of life frequently do not manifest as anticipated. Rather than experiencing a high fever, an elderly individual may appear to be more fatigued, bewildered, or less interested in consuming. In fact, for seniors, a sudden decrease in mental awareness is frequently the initial indicator of an infection. Before the primary symptoms manifest, additional symptoms emerge. Early identification of these changes can significantly influence the level of comfort and care that an individual receives during their final years. Observing a loved one undergo recurrent infections can be both devastating and exasperating for families. It is enticing to advocate for effective treatments, with the expectation that a single additional round of antibiotics or an additional hospitalization will resolve the issue. However, at a certain juncture, the emphasis frequently shifts from curing to comforting. Ensuring that they remain hydrated, maintaining the cleanliness and moisture of their skin, and reducing tension on the body can be more beneficial to their overall health than administering additional medication. This only serves to exacerbate their anguish. If you continue to view this video and find these insights to be beneficial, please reply to comment number 4 below to inform me that you are present. Additionally, I suggest that you subscribe and activate the bell icon to ensure that you do not overlook any videos. Your assistance enables us to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and motivate you. Now, let us proceed. Number 5. Significant alterations in circulation or respiration. One of the most evident indicators that the body is approaching its final stage is a pronounced alteration in circulation and respiration patterns. It is possible that you will observe that your loved one is breathing more slowly or shallowly than they were previously. Occasionally, they may experience a pause in their respiration or their breathing may become irregular, fluctuating between rapid and sluggish. Cheney-Stokes respiration is an unexpected breathing pattern that involves the alternation of lengthy pauses and strong, rapid breaths. Initially, these modifications may be subtle, however, they gradually become more apparent and occur more frequently. An additional prevalent indicator is diminished circulation. You may observe that their hands, feet, nose, and ears are chilly to the touch. Their skin may appear pale, bluish, or mottled, particularly around the fingertips and toenails. This occurs as a result of the body's efforts to prioritize the circulation of blood to its most critical organs, thereby reducing circulation to the limbs and legs. It is evident that the heart is not beating as vigorously as it once did. Shortness of breath may also be more prevalent in certain individuals, even during minor activities. They may experience breathlessness as a result of merely sitting, conversing, or shifting positions. It is possible that you will observe them breathing through their mouth more frequently, or they may abruptly need to halt and recover their breath while speaking. Their lung function may be deteriorating if they were previously able to walk across the room effortlessly but are now experiencing difficulty. Breathing may become more difficult in certain instances due to fluid accumulation in the airways. This may result in a persistent cough, gurgling noises, or a sensation of chest constriction. Many individuals mistakenly believe that obstruction is a result of a cold. However, in geriatric individuals who are approaching the end of their lives, it is frequently indicative of lung failure. They may find it unpleasant to lie flat and may prefer to sleep with their head elevated on cushions or in a recliner to facilitate breathing. Observing these modifications can be frightening for family members. It is only natural to desire assistance, to inspire them to take deeper breaths or to be concerned about the possibility of a serious incident. However, in numerous instances, this is simply the body's method of decelerating. There may not always be a means to halt these adjustments, but there are methods to make them more comfortable. Offering small doses of water, maintaining a calm environment, or employing a humidifier can alleviate discomfort. In certain instances, medications or oxygen therapy may offer alleviation. However, the primary objective is to ensure comfort rather than to resolve the issue. Pay close attention if you observe these indicators: a bluish hue to the skin, cold hands and feet, or changes in respiration. These are frequently indicators that the body is conserving energy and circulation is decelerating. This is an opportunity to be present, provide reassurance, and establish a tranquil atmosphere in which they feel secure and supported. One final thought as we conclude this video: pause to contemplate the topics we have covered. Extreme fatigue, frequent infections, memory impairments, significant weight loss, and significant changes in circulation and respiration. These 5 indicators frequently manifest in the preceding year. The passing of an elderly individual may not occur simultaneously, and it may not always be apparent at first. However, the onset of their presence is indicative of the body's preparation for its ultimate phase. These modifications may be difficult for numerous families to reconcile. It is only natural to desire to oppose them, to motivate a loved one to consume more food, exercise more, or endure exertion. However, at times, the most effective course of action is to pay attention to the signals that their body is sending. Rather than attempting to halt the inevitable, we can concentrate on ensuring that their remaining time is as tranquil, comfortable, and meaningful as feasible. Being aware of these indicators is not about fearing mortality, rather, it is about being adequately equipped to confront it. By early identification of these changes, you can ensure that your loved one's final months are characterized by love and dignity, make critical decisions in advance, and provide superior care. This is a moment to savor, share memories, and remind them that they are loved and not alone. If you are observing these indicators in a close relative, remember that you are not alone in this journey and take a deep breath. Many families have experienced this, and although it is never a simple process, being aware of what to anticipate can assist in the development of fortitude, patience, and tranquility. We are grateful for your attendance today. We would be delighted to receive your correspondence. Please share a comment below with a specific lesson you learned today and how you intend to apply it in your life. We are interested in your opinions, so please do not hesitate to express them. We are motivated and encouraged by the comments you leave. If you found this video to be beneficial, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it. Your assistance enables us to continue producing valuable content that will inform and motivate you. We appreciate your attention and eagerly anticipate your participation in our subsequent video.